Hello friends, this is Dr. Mohammad Miraj and today we are going to talk about biomedical waste management, which is a very important topic as well as a subject in your second semester. Today we are going to cover the chapter number 1, which is on introduction and the sources of biomedical waste. So one should first know like what is a waste. As you can see in the slide, waste is basically is an unwanted or an unusable material which is discarded after primary use and basically which is worthless. To put it more into technical terms, it is something which is not put into proper usage at a given time. So there are various categories of waste, but here we are going to concentrate more about biomedical waste, or it is also known as a medical waste. There are various names that has been given to the medical waste. Okay, somewhere it is known as medical waste, in some parts it is also known as biomedical waste, somewhere it is known as biohazardous waste, regulated medical waste, infectious medical waste. But what is basically a medical waste refers to? Medical waste is basically those waste, it is that kind of waste that contains infectious material or has the potential to cause infection. So according to WHO, it has been defined as a waste which is generated during the diagnosis, testing, treatment, research or production of biological products for humans or animals, and it is basically produced from various healthcare facilities such as physician office, hospitals, nursing home, research facilities, veterinary clinics, etc. We will be talking about the sources of biomedical waste in more details in the progressive slides. So coming to the next slide, you can see over here like the waste which is produced from the hospital, what is its concentration? That means how much is the hazardous, how much is the non-hazardous. So according to the slide which you can see over here, according to the pie chart, 80% of the hospital base is basically non-hazardous, whereas 20% can be hazardous. The bifurcation of these 20% could be 15% is basically pathological or infectious waste, chemical and pharmaceutical waste is almost 3%, and rest 1% each is radioactive and sharps. As far as the next slide is concerned, you can see over here like this is basically talking about the gravity of the problem or how much serious is the problem of the biomedical waste. We should first know like how much waste the country is producing every day, so that you can find out the exact number of measures and the ways that you can handle this sort of a biomedical waste problem. No, according to one of the researches which was done in 2018 by Ashucham and Velocity, which was seen that 775.5 tons of medical waste is estimated to be produced by 2022, and according to the today's figure, that is by 2000 in 2018, almost India's production per day was 550.9 tons. Okay, so going by this thing, if we take the example of various metropolitan, we are able to see over here in Delhi particularly there were 5,394 healthcare facilities. It is according to one of the report by Toxic Links in 2017, out of which it was seen that 959 were applied for authorization, out of which 872 got the permission, whereas 4,522 were operating without any monitoring process, which is a very serious thing. Because in today's world, when the corona rampages throughout the world, if there is an element of infection, so it can cause serious problems throughout the community as well as for the environment. Now you can see the slide over here. You can see the various states which are the maximum producing of biomedical waste here. According to one of the statistics in India, Karnataka, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Kerala and West Bengal are the major producers. And when we compare India with the other developed country, in the developed country almost 1 to 5 kilogram per bed day waste is day waste is being generated, whereas in India this number is pertaining to 1 to 2 bed kgs per bed per day. Okay, now from where this infection from biomedical waste can be spread? So it can be due to improper packaging, segregation, treatment and disposal. In the later classes we will be dealing about these issues in more details. So Now, who are at increased risk from the biomedical waste? It is basically the people who are working as sanitation workers, okay, the people who are in medical, who are basically medical and paramedical staff, the patient attendant, and the general public. According to one of the another researches, it was seen that PPE, that is the personal protective equipment, okay, they are being given to all these people, but in Delhi, it was seen that even after having 85% of the facilities, having all these facilities, only 37.83% of the workers were using this thing, which is a very serious thing, and it can land up in great problem. So what are the sources of the biomedical waste? As we were discussing earlier, it could be the major sources, it could be the minor sources. In the under major sources, it is basically the hospitals, the labs, the research centers, animal researches, autopsy centers, etc. In among the minor resources, it is basically the clinics, the dental clinics, the paramedical and the funeral services, etc. Now, if you go down further, you will see like what is the production of the biomedical waste. Like I told you, like the all the major sources, which is the hospitals, are producing different type of waste, and which is basically dangerous, and it has been classified by WHO into numerous categories. So let us understand the categories of the biomedical waste one by one. So you can see over here in this slide number 10. So it has been classified into the various, on the right hand side you can see, as we have already stated, that 80% is basically non-hazardous, whereas 10 to 20% or 25% can be labeled as hazardous. So it has been classified first as sharps. Sharp is a kind of waste that includes anything that can pierce the skin. So you can see over here, sharps is basically those that can pierce the skin and it includes needles, scalpels, lancets, broken glass, razors, ampules, wires, trocars, etc. Then comes the infectious waste. You can see over here, the infectious waste are those waste that is infectious or can be potentially infectious. So under this category, we can include swabs, tissues, excreta, equipment, and lab cultures. Then the third is a type of basically a radioactive waste. So radioactive waste is basically type of waste which is unused radiotherapy liquid or lab research fluid or liquid. It is basically consists of any glassware or any supply which is contaminated with this liquid. Then the fourth type of waste can be said as a pathological waste. You can see over here, the pathological waste are those fluids which includes the human fluids, tissues, body parts, which basically can be find out after the surgery, or bodily fluids are contaminated with animal carcasses which basically come out from the animal labs or the research labs. Then the fifth category is basically the pharmaceutical waste. As you can see over here, pharmaceutical waste are those waste which are unused, expired, or contaminated vaccine and drugs, and it also encompasses your antibiotics, injectables, and pills. Then comes the chemical waste. Chemical waste over here, chemical waste are those waste which are disinfectants, which are solvents used for the laboratory purposes, the batteries and the heavy metals from the medical equipment, such as mercury from the broken thermometer. Then the genotoxic waste is a very important category, because this type of waste is highly hazardous form of medical waste that's either carcinogenic, teratogenic, or mutagenic. Why? Because it has the potential to cause mutation, and which constitute of these type of waste, it includes basically the cytotoxic drugs which are intended for use in cancer treatments. Then there are other waste, okay, like pressurized containers, glass cylinders, cartridges, etc. So this is basically the classification, as you can see. And then in the next slide we will be talking about like the we are talking about the sources of biomedical waste. So already we have discussed about the major. The other are basically produced by the educational institute, research centers, and I told you like what are the types of waste which is being produced. And then in this slide you can see the other type of waste is being produced by the blood banks and the healthcare establishment. So with this we finish up this chapter. I hope like you have been able to understand the concepts well. What is the introduction regarding the introduction of biomedical waste and its sources? Thanks for watching. You can go out to our website, you can write to us, and we will be catching up with you soon with the next chapter, as well as the next line of things which is lined up for biomedical waste. Thank you so much.